Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
He did it. My guy, Clayton Kershaw, did it.
No.
He became the 20th pitcher in baseball history to reach 3,000 strikeouts.
How would you know?
Because I was watching it.
You were you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I wasn't on the
must have
live
been-
stream because I had to do another podcast, my third show of the day. Someone's
didn't
going
see
to
it.
keep the lights on around here. So that was...
Did that pop up? Did that podcast sneak up on you? Did that? Because we knew about Kershaw's start for a while, didn't we? At least 4 days, maybe even 5 days out.
I guess.
You knew
I don't
about
know.
No?
I guess. I don't know. We recorded every series finale, so...
We had
It was
blast.
awesome to see my guy do it, though.
It was
It was
awesome
my
to see
guy.
Jayhay and Connor and I, as the resident Kershaw guys, had an absolute wonderful time. It was a joy to watch the lefty ring in history with just a couple of other baseball lovers. You know,
He made
'cause
us
at times,
too, didn't he?
yeah. Oh, he made us earn it for sure. 6 innings worth of grit and grind for the left-hander. I think you can safely say that somewhere deep down in your heart and in your mind, we were all hoping for a turn back the clock type of performance. Like I think subconsciously we're all like, all right, this is going to be a fucking 10 punch out game here. And I can't wait for the first 3 to come through. It's going to be fast. Well, I think in your deeper dark parts of your heart and mind I just pray to God he gets 3. Let's just pray that he gets there. And that's kind of how it started to unfold. Like first 2, I was scrambling, getting off the airplane. I was getting in my car. I was like, I can't. I'm not getting let into this chat. Like, am I going to get here in time? Plenty of time. Had plenty of time to get into the chat before Kershaw would eventually make history. And the best part about the way that the night unfolded was the fact that it was a called strike 3 to end the inning. So that everybody, like all of the pageantry that you would want in that moment was there, outside of his team leading at the time, which kind of just goes by the wayside because you've got Kershaw slider, backdoor locked up. Umpire has to give it the fucking call, get punched out. Everybody loses their shit, stands up, because the fans, the minute they see the umpire step back and that arm start to go, they know what's coming. They know the punch is coming. And the place erupted, absolutely shook Los Angeles, just eruptions. And it was, I mean, the like we were talking about it, like how many different images of the statue did you see that's eventually going to be right out in front of Chavez Ravine, the tip of the cap, the wave of the hands, the curtain call to come back out and soak it up. I mean, we're in Hollywood, folks. We are in Hollywood. And he had stars galore on their fucking feet. There was people weeping in the crowd. Like it was incredible. It was incredible. I don't know that they've had that kind of like surge in energy for an individual since Fernando. Maybe Kirk in 88. I don't want to bring that up, but whatever.
It was a great moment. I think if you are a Dodger fan, it's been an embarrassment of riches in terms of you've got World Series titles now, not just appearances. You've got the titles, you've got the contracts, you've got the trades, you've got the superstars, you've got the postseason moments, you've got the pomp and circumstance, and now you've got the milestones. I mean, like, that's cool. It's a different kind, to Dallas's point, it's a different kind of electricity that flows through a ballpark for, you've got the Freddie Freeman walk-off grand slam in the World Series. That's very cool. Clinching a World Series title, that's a different kind of jubilation. But when you see, especially, I mean, the major point here is that Clayton Kershaw is a lifetime Dodger. Day one, through the system, entire career. There was no Andrew McCutchen, like, hey, I'm going to go play for the Giants and the Phillies and the Yankees, but I'll come back and then I'll have like the milestones with you guys. No, it was a Dodger through and through, the entire time. You saw it from birth. And the 3,000 strikeouts, we all knew if he retired last year or the Dodgers didn't want to bring him back or whatever, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, 100% vote total, whatever. But the fact that he was able to put the icing on the cake with 3,000, Dodger fans, they tend to be quite spoiled recently, and this is kind of just another one on the list. And then for the game itself, Kersh gets the 3,000 strikeouts. They're losing, I think, 4-2 at the time to the White Sox of all teams. But it's like the ending, you have former MVP Freddie Freeman driving in reigning MVP Shohei Ohtani to give a victory to former MVP Clayton Kershaw in the game where he strikes out his 3,000th batter. So that's dominance. That's history.
No, that was great. What sucked is the Max Muncy injury.
Yeah.
That's what hurts, is going through that in that moment. You see that, and then it's like, all right, we got to shift gears here. Like, who knows what's going on with our third baseman who just got his eyeballs fixed and has been fucking smashing the cover off the ball now. Like, we just got to kind of, all right, we'll compartmentalize that and put that over there for a minute while Kershaw makes history. And then, I guess we kind of got to get back to acknowledging, like, shit, did we just lose Max Muncy for an undetermined amount of time? I certainly hope not. But yeah, that was just a tough little roller coaster of emotion to have to ride in that moment, because, I mean, Muncy was writhing in agony. Like, that didn't, it had to be helped off the field. Couldn't walk under his own power. Like, that sucked to see. And then again, credit to Kershaw and the rest of the guys for being able to sort of, and you have to, this is how it has to go, but you got to move on from that and get back on the horse. And they were able to do so. Let's play a little game here.
Please.
How many swing and misses do you think Clayton Kershaw had in his 6 innings of work where he had 3 strikeouts? How many total swing and misses?
7?
Yeah, I was going to say 7 or 8. So I'll say 8.
Wouldn't you believe it? 7 swing and misses. No. Excuse me. 8 total swing and misses is the amount of misses that Mitch Keller had in his 7 shutout innings worth of work. But Clayton Kershaw, believe it or not, 15 swing and misses, but only 3 strikeouts. So 15 swing and misses, only 3 strikeouts. So, and the reason I brought up the Mitch Keller game is because he had 7 punch outs and only had 8 swing and misses total. So you got a guy in Kershaw who missed, got some swing and miss, but didn't result in the putaways. And that kind of goes back to what we were talking about on the stream, Jayhay, which is, we knew, and you could feel, you just don't want to be number 3,000.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be 298.
I disagree.
I don't want to be 99.
I would love to be 3,000. I would.
Just so you can attach yourself to the Kershaw wagon?
Yeah, dude. Like, imagine like if I'm just some fucking irrelevant, I don't even know who it was, but like if I'm just like Joe Schmo, I'm gonna be able to like sign that. Like, yeah, that's me right there. Yeah. Like, I'm in all the highlights. That's cool. Yeah. I mean, I would love if you have an ego about you, like A-Rod would probably not want to be the 3,000th strikeout in the career of Clayton Kershaw or anybody. But I mean, I think A-Rod, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't think I am. A-Rod was like the final out of many Yankee seasons, like in playoff runs. He was the dude that was always like, strike 3, season over. Like, he did that like 5 or 6 times during his Yankee career. But I think, especially if you have respect and admiration for Clayton Kershaw, and who doesn't, like as a competitor, I would be honored to be his 3,000 strikeout. I think that would be cool. I would keep the ball.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting that ball. But I don't think that ball's for you. I don't think that one's going to you. It's like, I mean, do you guys remember who Nolan Ryan's 5,000 strikeout was?
No.
I don't remember, no.
You really love this guy, Jared.
Barry?
Dare I say your favorite player growing up?
Cal Ripken Jr.?
Or one of your, no, on the West Coast.
Ricky?
Ricky.
Oh. Yeah, see, like, I bet you there's plenty of guys that have been, unless it's a season-ending strikeout. Like, if you're strike 3 in the World Series Game 7, I wouldn't want to be that guy. Then you're signing that picture and you're like, fuck, like, whatever. But if I'm in the background, or I'm the dude that got my ticket punched for a Hall of Famer, like a first ballot guy, like if I'm Randy Johnson's 4,000th strikeout, I'm like, fuck yeah, that's sick. Like, I would be pumped about that.
Yeah, I can appreciate it. I just don't want to be on the losing side of that shit. I just don't ever, like, I can respect it.
Is there any shit, like, if you're like, put it this way, if you're at like a cocktail party and you're 65 years old, I'm telling everyone I was Randy Johnson's 4,000th strikeout. Like, that's like a party starter. That's like an icebreaker. Like, there's no shame. Like, if you were a team that had a perfect game thrown against you by Dallas Braden, you probably don't tell people about that. You're like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck was going on that day. Like, that's embarrassing. But time
out,
yeah,
buddy. I just can't. I gotta tell you this because of what you just said. I just left Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Just left Tampa Bay. Okay. And day one, I take an Uber to the game because our bus was like 5 hours before the game. And that's a minor league ballpark. And I'm just not going to be there for 5 hours before the game. Not going to do that. So I took an Uber and I get out right by the footbridge in between Raymond James and the footbridge to go into the ballpark, George Steinbrenner Field. And I just opened the door because I'm going to ask the individual, like, hey, I'm the broadcaster for the other team. Where can I get into the field? And so I roll the window down and I go, hey, and the dude goes, you're that guy who threw a perfect game against us, aren't you? And I was like, but because we've had the issues that I've had here at our ballpark with, I'll just say getting in and getting out, if you will, maybe at times even into my own booth. I was like, you have no idea. You have no idea how badly I needed this recorded here. Cause you're like, for everybody else's perspective, like you're just a security person out in a random ass parking lot, right? Like you're not a Rays employee per se. You're not. And that dude was like, gotcha. And then I got into the fucking elevator and her name is Connie. And Connie was looking at me. Shout out Connie, because she's a fucking gem, an absolute peach. But she was looking at me. And she goes, Mother's Day, right? Mother's Day. I'll never forget it. You broke our hearts. But to your point, like, people do remember that random stuff and they do talk about it because, and maybe it's different for them because of that day, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The whole idea was, I think some people do wear that as a badge of honor. Yeah. And I mean, look, like, do I shy away from talking about or getting made fun of? I mean, I bring it on. Maglio fucking riding me out of the yard twice in one inning. Like, no, I don't. Like, it's a fun fact. It's a fun trivia question. Like, does it suck that it happened? Sure.
In real time.
Is it funny? Is it funny as hell? And is it? Yes, it is. Like, so I can respect it. I wouldn't want to voluntarily, like, fuck yeah, sign me up.
So, Jayhay, you joining me in the never having played Major League Baseball category, how would you feel? Because I want to say David Price, like, he gave up Jeter's 3,000th hit, which was a home run, and he was all about, like, he was like, fuck yeah, that's sick. But, like, how would you feel as a non-major leaguer?
Yeah, I think I'm closer to you. I feel like I would be cool. It would be cool to be part of history as long as it wasn't costing me or my team something significant, like the postseason context or whatever. Yeah. I'm super mad if I'm the guy who's striking out and causing the team to celebrate a title for sure. But no, to be Mike Capra or whatever the pronunciation of his name ended up being last night, or Vinny Capra. I'd like to be him because I have a suspicion that's going to be the most we ever say that man's name for the rest of his career. No offense to him.
Yeah, Randy almost had fucking 5K. Damn. Yeah, he was when did he get into the league? Was he a teenager? No, he was fucking he was 24. If he was one of those freaks that came out at age 20, imagine. He came up when he was 24. Randy Johnson.
Who are you talking about? Oh, well, yeah, it's because he was killing mascots he just couldn't throw a fucking fastball over the plate.
Had to get some things under control.
Yeah, but if he did,
not allowed to walk outside doing that.
If Randy Johnson came up as a 20-year-old, 21-year-old even, he gets the 5K easy.
Yeah. I mean, they tried to get him there as early as possible, Jared. Like I said, he was a danger to society.
Yeah. Yeah, he was 125 Ks away from, but I mean, by the time you get to, your age 45 season, you're kind of pushing at that point.
Well, and so like, think about what we watched last night, and it was a grind. It was a grind to get there. And I think it was a grind to get there because, and I talked about this last night, you're acknowledging that every pitch you want to throw in that moment is like, you need it black or better, meaning I don't want this anywhere near the middle of the plate. I'm trying to clip the black, freeze guys, and then get swing and miss. That's just a tough way to pitch, knowing that you are after like this number. I need 3 strikeouts. I will strike 3 guys out. Here we go. Especially if you don't have the overpowering stuff that Kershaw no longer possesses. And to think what it would look like to watch Randy Johnson chase 125 strikeouts during that season.
I know that this is supposed to be about Clayton Kershaw, but in 2008, Randy Johnson, who returned to the D-backs, I feel like that gets lost in the Randy Johnson lore, is that he did go back to the D-backs after he went to the Yankees. In his age 44 season, threw 184 innings and struck out 173 batters. Again, he was 44 years old. So like, I don't know, man. Like, I know that it looked like he ran out of gas in his age 45 season with the Giants. It was a 4.88 ERA, 86 strikeouts and 96 innings. Like, not bad. But yeah, the FIP was almost 5. So it's like, yeah, all right, maybe the wheels fell off. But I don't know. I don't think it would have been crazy if he came back for one more year and was able to get 125 punch-outs to get the 5K.
I mean, that 08, he was basically delivering like your standard issue Carlos Rodon season at 44 years old.
Yeah.
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 See, like Randy, like do we can't find any of the metrics like extension and shit like that on Randy Johnson, huh?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, like that's
maybe for 08 or 09, I can pull that up. Hold on.
Savant's not showing it.
Okay. I think if there was some way to simulate, if you could go back in time and be like, all right, click a button, what would his 2010 season look like? I guess it also depends on the ballpark too, or whatever. But do you think he gets 125 strikeouts if he rolls it back out there for his age 46 season?
I was going to say if he gets to 150 innings, yes.
I would have to go back in time and look at the contemporary news articles. I want to say that he retired because his back issues got so bad that he couldn't really, like, I want to say that had something to do with his abilities there at the end. And goddamn, he's 45 years old, It's like,
so we'd understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I know that this is a broader conversation. You may disagree. I think, and I know that it's still ongoing, but as of right now, let's say if we were, draw the line. The careers are over. All 3 of them. Clayton Kershaw had the best career out of Verlander and Scherzer and Kershaw. So I think what you have to look at, it's like he's much better in ERA, much better in WHIP, ERA plus. The strikeouts per 9, it's basically like Scherzer's better. but like he's got a sub fucking 3 for his career.
Well,
it's 3 Cy Youngs. It's 3 Cy Youngs. It's,
out of that group, he's the only dude whose career ERA, like when you go to like 2000, when did he show up? 2008?
Yeah.
I think it's like from 08 or 09 or whatever. Like the career ERA just every year goes down.
And then their peaks. Kershaw won 3 Cy Youngs and MVP, 5 ERA titles, posted an ERA under 3 every year from 2009 to 2017. Scherzer, 3 Cy Youngs. He was dominant from 13 to 19. Verlander, 3 Cy Youngs, which counts 2022, so that's outside of his like peak year. But like the strikeout rates, it's Scherzer, Kershaw, Verlander, career whip, Kershaw, Verlander, Scherzer, FIP, Kershaw, Verlander, Scherzer, ERA plus, Kershaw, Verlander, Scherzer. Yeah, like these guys are, it's obviously a tight conversation, but if you were to award points for first place, second place, third place, and all these statistical categories, like kind of how they do like the MVP voting, like you get points for first place votes versus second place votes. Like Kershaw wins this debate of like greatest pitcher. And the only separator, if you want to go there, is the postseason. And I think that matters. It definitely matters. They've all won World Series titles. Kershaw multiple, even though you can't give him credit for like the 2024 one. But Scherzer got his and was very instrumental in that with the Nats in 19. Verlander, he's got 2 instrumental in 17, but like not so much.
Look, this is how you say this. The postseason conversation is one that Clayton Kershaw individually cannot be a part of.
Well, Verlander isn't exactly lights out either in the playoffs.
Well, what if I told you that Justin Verlander's postseason ERA is over, just slightly under a full run lower than Clayton Kershaw's?
That wouldn't surprise me, but that also doesn't mean that his is good.
Well, would you rather have a 4.49 ERA or would you rather have a 3.58 ERA? If you were
just 3.58?
If you were just being handed an ERA.
Is it 3.58 for Verlander?
Yes, it is.
So then he sucks in the World Series then. He's got
so now what you're doing is you're moving the goalpost.
No.
Postseason fucking.
No,
actually what I meant was World Series.
That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying that I know he sucked somewhere in the playoffs and it's his World Series numbers suck. I'm saying that's what I was thinking of.
I actually think that's part of what makes this general conversation, and if we extend it back to the 90s pitchers, I think it includes them as well, so fascinating because very few of them have postseason track records that are 100% clear-cut pristine. And in fact, like nobody remembers it now, but like there was a period of time where people were questioning whether Randy Johnson was really built to succeed in the postseason. Like that was a thing that happened right up until he put together like one of the greatest postseason runs of all time. Pedro obviously was on the whole far more dominant in the regular season than he was in the postseason. I don't think that necessarily takes away from his legacy as one of the greatest pitchers of all time. I do think all 3 of those guys have postseason legacies that are a little bit complicated. Like the Justin Verlander thing, yes, it absolutely is moving the goalposts to say, oh, well, his overall postseason ERA is this, but it is this in the World Series. But it is kind of interesting that if we're parsing the hairs here between the 6th and 7th greatest pitchers that we've ever seen or whatever these guys are, that he has a 5.63 ERA and almost 50 innings pitched in the World Series, and that his best work comes earlier in the postseason. It is like it's a data point. It's a something.
Well, then I jump in and go, that's him doing the lifting to get to the very end.
No doubt.
Like you need to ride a horse to get there, right? Don't you?
And I agree with you to that. I agree. And I think that's and he gets credit in the conversation for being what I think is an unqualified postseason horse through what would be considered the first 2 rounds of the postseason. part of the reason why I frequently go back to Randy Johnson. I feel like in the as maybe the greatest pitcher when you include everything that I've seen, is because we did get that postseason where he left no doubt, right? Like there was nothing left for him to do in the 2001 postseason to convince anyone of anything. He had a 1.52 ERA and over 40 innings pitched and finished it off at the highest level. So I don't know. I was, when Jared brought that up, I was excited because one of the things that Kershaw reaching 3,000 strikeouts does for me as like a baseball history stat nerd is it just brings up the where does he rank conversation and both of his generation and of all the people that we've seen. And I do feel like I ultimately agree with, I don't know if I'm disagreeing with Dallas, but I agree with Jared that if push comes to shove, I'm putting Kershaw 1, Verlander 2, and I'm putting Scherzer 3 in terms of these guys.
Yeah,
I mean, I think Kershaw having the greatest adjusted ERA for any pitcher who has ever thrown 2,500 innings pitched, and that includes Pedro. It's Kershaw, Pedro, Lefty Grove, and Walter Johnson, is a level of dominance that I think does outweigh the marginal bulk career value that Justin Verlander has and the marginally better postseason track record.
So, well, and think about this: the WAR accumulation for Kershaw 79.6, and for Verlander 80.5. And Verlander has 539 career games to Kershaw's 441.
Right.
So think about giving Clayton Kershaw another 100 games to perform in. You think he surpasses the fucking one point where the WAR? Think he beats it? I think he would. Give him 100 games. Yeah, I'd say so. But looking like you guys ran through all the accolades, right? 2 championships across the board for all 3 of those guys. 8 All-Stars for Scherzer, 10 for Kershaw, 9 for Verlander.
Scherzer doesn't have 2 rings.
What?
He does?
Yeah.
Who the fuck did he win the second one with?
Oh wow, you don't remember his contributions?
Jared.
The Nats at 19 and who?
The Rangers.
The Rangers.
Get fucked with that.
What? What do you?
No.
You don't want to count it? I don't understand.
I didn't count Kershaw in 24, so we're not counting fucking Scherzer in 23.
Well, the history books feel differently about it, okay?
All right, so then they all have 2. They all have 2.
They all have 2. Only 2 of them have MVPs. That would be Kershaw and Verlander.
Mm-hmm.
They have all 3 won 3 Cy Youngs. Only 2 of them have ever won an ERA title, and Clayton Kershaw's done that 5 times to Verlander's 2. Mm-hmm. Only one of them has a Gold Glove, and is the lefty athlete. And Verlander has a LCS MVP, and Verlander and Kershaw both have a Triple Crown, which Max Scherzer has neither of, an LCS MVP or a Triple Crown or a Gold Glove or an ERA title or an MVP overall. So it's, if you're looking to rank them based on the conversation that we've had, it's it's Kershaw, Verlander, and then Scherzer. Like their playoff numbers, 226 innings for Verlander, 194 and a third for Clayton Kershaw. The FIP for Kershaw, 3.81 to his 4.49 ERA. Verlander, 3.87 FIP to his 3.58 ERA. And then Scherzer with a 3.92 FIP to his 3.78 ERA. But as far as overall value goes, according to Baseball Reference, from age 20 to 37, Clayton Kershaw worth 54.3 WAR to Scherzer's 49.8 in his age 23 to 40 seasons. And in Verlander's age 22 to 42 seasons, he accumulated 49. Or excuse me, that's WAR on average, 49. Sorry.
So the one thing that I contest in this debate that comes up quite a bit is giving the nod to Verlander because of the longevity. And I recognize that he does have the best longevity of the 3, but I would argue that you cannot get to 3,000 strikeouts without some form of longevity. Like, I understand that there has been a lot of injuries in the career of Clayton Kershaw, but what short bursts can you fucking reach 3,000 strikeouts in? Like, there has been, to some degree, a credible amount of longevity in the career of Clayton Kershaw.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't just
That's
back your way into 3,000 strikeouts.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. I get in the mix because Astros fans at this point have claimed Justin Verlander more than Detroit Tigers fans at this point, which is odd. I don't know. I don't know how I would feel about that as a Tiger fan, but like when I get into the mix on the pitcher of the generation debate, it's always Astros fans that are riding for Verlander. But then seeing the conversations, I mean, Scherzer is more of I guess a mutt. Like, I don't know what fan base claims Scherzer the most. Probably, I guess, Nats fans, but there aren't many of them, like to hear from them a lot. But when it comes to the longevity part of that, they try to knock Kershaw on it. And it's like, how many guys have come into the league and pitched for 11 seasons or 8 seasons and reached 3,000 strikeouts? Like, you have to have longevity to reach that milestone. Like, it doesn't compute otherwise.
I just love the debate.
Yeah.
No, I just love the debate. And I think if it wasn't crystallized before, I just do think that, when we're talking, we view Pedro in a certain light, right? Now that time has moved past maybe the end of Pedro's career or some of the inconsistencies that were on display in the postseason or in some of the biggest spots where we maybe wished that we had gotten just a little bit more, or the timing had been right between when the Red Sox were at their best and when Pedro was at his best in the postseason, all that sort of stuff. Now that time has moved, we recognize Pedro for who and what he is, and Kershaw, for whatever it's worth, has a better adjusted ERA than even Pedro Martinez. And I think that is a separator for how he should be viewed relative to Justin Verlander, who, to me, is right after Clayton Kershaw in the all-time greatest pitchers conversation. And this is splitting hairs to some degree, but that's a level of historical dominance that I just don't think any of the Scherzer or Verlander can touch at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we wouldn't debate who's better between Pedro and Verlander, would we?
No.
Or Scherzer and Pedro?
No.
You would get laughed at, I think, in a lot of cases for bringing that up.
I don't know. I think, like, if you were to have a debate, I mean, you can use like ERA plus to kind of span generations, but I think if you were to, like, you wouldn't you're not comparing pitchers from generations, but like, how if you grouped it as like pitchers with 3 Cy Young awards?
But do you think, outside of the most hardcore fans in maybe Detroit and Houston, do you think you could find anyone who would really take Justin Verlander over Pedro Martinez? Career or peak?
No. Well,
no, of course not.
I don't know. Maybe someone would take his career. Like, he won multiple titles.
I don't think so.
I think that.
You're talking about from like a pure, like, you get to experience it standpoint.
Like, he made more money, I'm sure, in his career.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
But like, peak is non-debate. That's not
non-negotiable.
Who would you rather be at their peak? I would rather be Pedro than Verlander.
So this is where the
resume would you rather have? That's debatable.
If this is where the conversation changes, is what sort of body of work would you rather walk around with?
For sure.
Like, do you want to walk around with 1,000 more innings than Pedro?
So I think,
does that do anything for you?
Where my mind ultimately goes, Dallas, is when you phrase it like, who would you rather walk around as, right? Pedro walks around and he's a god to a lot of people. Verlander walks around and it's like, I saw your little butt. Your little butt. I remember seeing your little pasty ass butt. No one says that about Pedro. Come on. No one says that.
Well, yeah. I think that's a real perspective to gather.
Yeah.
Is What sort of clout are you after? Like if you're after the championship clout, well, then maybe you feel differently about it. If you're after the dominance clout and the longevity clout, maybe you feel differently.
Whose life do you want to live? It's like Pedro. He's building fucking churches in the Dominican Republic. And it's like Justin Verlander has to celebrate Christmas with Ben Verlander. Who would you rather be?
When you say it like that.
Yeah. I'm sad I'm not going to get to see Ben Verlander at the All-Star game, assuming that we're not going. I don't know what the plans are. I would say it's not looking great at the moment, but I will put it this way. If the Tigers make the postseason, which they obviously are going to, I'm going to make some content with Ben Verlander this postseason.
I can't wait to see that.
I'm gonna bring the people what they want. They want to see it. We're gonna give it to them. Dallas is gonna be there. He said.
No, Dallas didn't say that.
Nah, he said that. He said it off the air. He's like, I've never been to Detroit. If we got tickets to a Tigers home playoff game, if we got tickets to a Scooble start, Dallas, you wouldn't fucking go.
I'd go for a Scooble postseason start.
Yeah. Like I want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I could probably get us tickets.
No, I got the hookup.
Well, holler if you hear me.
Who's your hookup? Scooble? I was friends with him first. Fuck you. He's gonna give me better. We're not even gonna be sitting together because he's gonna give me like the dugout seats, and you're gonna be in like the fucking bleachers. He's gonna be like, yeah, sure, Dallas, here, take these tickets.
It's fine. I'm just happy to be in the building.
Yeah, it's very humble.
That's how real friends think.
Yeah, well, me and Ben are gonna be sitting right behind the dugout, right behind the Tigers dugout.
There's no seat on the field worth that, buddy.
Soak that up.
And soak up these picks on the Underdog Fantasy app. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats like strikeouts, total bases, home runs, and so much more. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's JARED to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. How'd your picks do yesterday, Dallas?
Clayton Kershaw did not strike out more than 4.5 players. Believe it or not, he did not strike out. So, yeah. And I'm not putting that all on the lefty. I mean, there were some other folks who maybe didn't hold up their end of the bargain, and that's okay.
There was some
might not have mattered what Clayton Kershaw did by the time it got to Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Love the storyline building, though. That's Dallas knowing a narrative.
Yeah.
Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah. I did want to revisit a conversation. Are we good on Kershaw? Did we blow him enough?
Yeah. He got a good lathering.
Yeah. I did, because we do have Family Feud today. I did want to revisit a conversation from yesterday and continue it. That being the Toronto Blue Jays. So I think every year there's a fan base that I think Baseball is Dead kind of cultivates, and it's like, oh, they see us, they hear us. Like, it's been Braves fans before, it's been Reds fans before, it's been Pirates fans before, it's been Mets fans before,
Brewers fans.
It's been Brewers fans before. Yes, I think we could really lean into the Blue Jays fan base this year. I think they're, they have Johnny with Gate 14, who I want to have back on the pod. He's doing more shit than ever now, so like it's hard to like line up recording schedules. I think it would be a great return to come back to the pod. But I did want to play a clip that he tweeted this morning, because it's just he's like Frank the Tank, but with logic and reason and less screaming. Like his life is the Toronto Blue Jays, and it's so pure and real. It's not forced. Like when Ben Verlander is rooting for like the Angels, the Dodgers, the fucking Tigers, and the Astros. Johnny, it's just the Blue Jays. His life is the Blue Jays. And I can relate to where he's at right now, because he's, battling the Yankees. It's a 4-game set. They go for the 4-game sweep to take over first place today. And it was a dogfight last night. They almost blew an 8-0 lead. They end up winning 11-9. But again, Yankee fans will sit there and say, "Oh, you beat us. That was your World Series. That was your World Series." Like, they think it's been so long since the Yankees have won an actual World Series title. Like, they're not who they think they are. They have this identity crisis where they think it's still the 90s. They're like, "Oh, when you beat us in a 3-game set, like, that was your World Series." You're not special anymore. I understand that the organization carries themselves in a way that they want you to feel and think that you're special because of the history and the tradition. But based on recent history, this century, which, like, we are a quarter of the way through. We are a quarter of the way through this century. You haven't done shit. Shit. So when they say, "Oh, that was your World Series, why are you celebrating?" and you're a Toronto Blue Jays fan, like, at least for the Red Sox, like, we have 4 World Series titles. But the Blue Jays, you're trying to tell them that they can't celebrate tying first place in the AL East this late into the season, July 3rd. So Johnny had a video that I wanted to play the audio to because I agree with him. You should celebrate. It's not just about, like, you know, when I was a New England Patriots fan, I don't give a fuck anymore because Tom Brady's gone. But when I was watching every single Patriots game, it's like, it was hard to get up for anything other than the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl. Like, you weren't celebrating regular season wins that hard because you're like, we're going to be there. We're going to be in the AFC Championship game. And that's when I lock in. That's when I get excited. But if your team hasn't seen any semblance of real success in a decade, there's no shame in celebrating. Not even, I wouldn't even call this a little win. The run that the Blue Jays have been on to get to this point, it's a big win and it should be celebrated. And no, it shouldn't be mocked and be like, "Oh, this is your World Series." No, motherfucker. Well, this is our 4-game set against the Yankees in which we are whipping your ass.
Yeah, they did.
Well, here's the video, and then you can react to it, Dallas. Here's the video.
"I want you to use this video to the loser Yankee fans that are saying, 'Oh, you're celebrating like you won the World Series.' Because I got DMs, tweets, and I saw that clown, Jake from John Boy Media, tweeted at me. Yes, correct. We are celebrating like we won the World Series. This fan base hasn't won a playoff game in almost 10 years. This is the latest we've ever led the division by in 10 fucking years almost. So you know what? Yeah, I will celebrate like I just won the fucking World Series." And the Yankee fans, if these games mean nothing, why is your entire fan base loser posting and saying the season is over? You guys were awfully loud a month and a half ago when you were tweeting the division's over. It's a cakewalk because I got tweets bookmarked from your fans saying the division's over. And it's bananas. It's absolutely insane that you guys are holier than thou, or whatever the fuck the saying is, that you guys are, "Oh, you can't celebrate." You know what? Yeah, I'm shameless. I will fucking celebrate. And do I regret posting that celebration video July 1st because it might come back to bite me? Fuck no. That's what being a fan is about. You ride the highs and you loser post the lows. And if I get old takes exposed for that, congratulations. I am going to celebrate my baseball team being in first place, whether it's March 31st, April 31st, or July 2nd, brother. I love the Blue Jays and I'm going to ride with this team. So Yankee fans, congrats on being so fucking cool. You can't celebrate your team having success. I will not be doing that. Congratulations.
I agree with them. You gotta, what fun is it if you only celebrate when you win the World Series? You're gonna be waiting a long fucking time to feel any joy. Especially in baseball, it's 162 fucking games. It's every single night. You're dedicating your time, your energy, your passion to your team, and to just have this mentality that celebrations are reserved for when you win a championship. Like, who the fuck has time for that? Where's the fun in that? Like, you talk your shit while you can talk your shit.
Well, that's the goal. That's the game plan.
Yeah.
That's how you fan, is it not? I mean, and I'll be honest, that's why I can appreciate the East Coast fandom the way that I do, because you just don't get that veracity and that frankly, the vitriol at times on the West Coast because people are just like, whatever. It's all good. Yeah, it's fine. There's just not that anger, the hate that drives the fandom on the other side of the country. But to think that you just can't celebrate or can't get excited over your team's success at any point in time, and that you would be stifled by somebody else who is not having the success that you are having in the moment and allowing them to be the barometer for how to react, go get fucked. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Jay, you're muted.
You're muted.
I'm so glad we're organically having this conversation because I'm riding right there with you guys. Basically every time somebody could possibly say, act like you've been there before, I hate that reference and I hate that person. I don't understand why people put these parameters on how, like, within reason, of course, generally accepted behavior, why people put these parameters on fandom like this, because, we can't cheer after, I think Johnny's right in everything that he said for what it's worth, but like the idea that you can only win, basically what this reduces to is that you can only win when you win a championship, right? Or you can only celebrate when you win a championship. And even then you will be greeted with people who are there to tell you that was an asterisk championship because these two teams suffered injuries on the way. And that wasn't the hardest possible path that you could have walked. And so, how was it really like a certified true blue championship? Like, are we going to credit it like that? Or variations of that sort of like bringing down the moment or bringing down the achievement? So if you're waiting for that, it's just a pointless exercise because people are going to look to detract from that achievement if they're haters, which I am in a fun way, but not like this, in the moment. And so I think, yes, you should, if baseball is 162 games, and if you can't find reasons to celebrate within the season, no matter how trivial those things may look weeks or months later, then what is the point of the journey? We've gotten so focused on reducing these sports, and baseball is not alone in this, to did you or did you not win the championship? And that is an incredibly like masochistic way to experience sports and to consume the product if you're going to be invested in it. Like, if you're going to be into this, you have to be able to enjoy the experience and the pennants and the division titles and the series wins and the individually great performances within games and the great innings. Otherwise, you're going to be very frustrated and end up not enjoying yourself, I think.
Well, this is what happens when you're told your entire life, right? Hey, it's not about the wins and losses. It's about how you play the game. It's about having fun, right? And you play your sport like that all the way until you're done playing that sport. And now you're a fan of that sport and you're a fan of those teams on a professional level. And you're going, you know what? I just got my ass kicked my entire childhood. Fuck that. I want a ring. I want to win. I want these losers to win. And if you don't win, you're an absolute shitbag. Look what happened to the Dodgers, Jayhay, in the COVID season. Look what happened to anybody who won an award during the COVID season. Oh, that shit's fake. Mickey Mouse World Series, Mickey Mouse Cy Young, Mickey Mouse MVP, Mickey Mouse this, Mickey Mouse that. And nobody could just stop for 10 seconds and go, this is just the parameters that they're playing this season under. And this is what we have. This is what it is. So nope, I guess we're going to not acknowledge that. Never mind. Everybody played the same game for the most part, under the same rules and restrictions for the most part. And that's what we had. That is what it is. So you don't get to just ignore it like it didn't fucking happen. You get to acknowledge it. It counts.
I can't remember the last NBA championship specifically that was not actively discounted in every way that was available to the media landscape around it. Like, I know Jared sort of like remembers what like the Celtic experience, that was absolutely discounted. I know Coley would back me up on this. Like, Jason Tatum's role in it was discounted. And it's like, I just remember thinking, if you're Jason Tatum and this is supposed to be the crowning achievement of your career and you win, as we all know, he's the best player on the Celtics, right? And one of the greatest players in the league. And some other guy, Jaylen Brown, who's also great, wins the finals MVP. And all anybody wants to talk to Jason Tatum about is, why didn't you win the Finals MVP? Like that was a conversation around Steph Curry too. Like he hadn't won a Finals MVP because of Iguodala, Durant, and it's like, oh well, like, you know, are you really an all-time great, like, without a Finals MVP? Yeah, that's a real conversation that the media landscape was having, and it's just like, man, you better enjoy the ride, because these crowning achievements, I have to imagine, for the athletes and in some ways the fans too, I feel like have never been less satisfying. I would have to think in some ways, because of the environment around the achievement.
Well, because what you're doing is you're starting to rank and you're starting to parse performances now, like we do it with Kershaw, right? Great during the regular season, but what is the knock? What do haters always want to go to? Is, well, could he get it done in the big game? Could he get it done on the big stage? And we just had that conversation. So never mind the fact that he's a 2-time World Series champion, right? We're just ignoring that, and we're going to move and potentially one of the greatest, if not the greatest, like regular season performers. We're going to ignore that as well, and we will now allow the conversation of, well, how good was he on the biggest stage in the biggest moments? We're now going to allow that to creep into where he fits into the game in overall total greatness. And it's like, well, look, if we want to have a conversation about the biggest stage performers, we can do that. But if you want to take that and plug it into the conversation about who he is in totality, that's unfair. And I understand if we're measuring, well, nope, performance from the championship to the, I want to compare that. Okay, but that doesn't mean he sucks. That doesn't mean he's not good. That doesn't mean he shouldn't be touted the way he is. And I think for the NBA, aren't those guys, that's how you're ranked, is like almost to hell with your post, or to hell with your regular season accolades, to hell with how many points you've scored over a career or whatever. How many rings do you have? Okay, well, do you have rings that are comparable to Jordan? All right, now we start to have the conversations about how you performed in those moments, on those stages. And
but we also ignore all the people that have more rings than Jordan for the purposes of this conversation, right?
Yes, we do.
Like, okay, well, what a shifting conversation this is. But like, yeah, no, to me, but to the original point of the conversation about the Blue Jays fandom experience, if you're not excited about what's going on with them from a Blue Jays fan standpoint, I would just ask, what are you in this for? And so if you're asking that, like, from a Yankees hater standpoint, like, yeah, I think Johnny's right. Like, you can't say, why are you celebrating, while also being like, our season's over, fire Aaron Boone, which is how the Yankees react to every one of these all the time.
I was going to say, does
the series matter or does it not?
Right. Well, in a series where you relinquish the lead in the division, that
it matters.
That matters. That just does that matter? Like, if we were winning the division before and we are no longer leading the division, we are now tied. Doesn't that matter?
And also, like, I know this is a Blue Jays revisit conversation, but the Rays are a half game out. So this is a live situation.
Rays fans next time mad at me.
Well, wait, why?
Because I didn't even do this intentionally to slight them, but when the Blue Jays caught the Yankees, I cropped the division standings to be like, you got to respect the Blue Jays. Look what they've done. I'm isolating what the Blue Jays have done. They've tied the Yankees, and the Rays are a half game back. I think, like, my point was, hey, look, the Blue Jays caught the Yankees. It wasn't, hey, look how tight the AL East race is with all these teams. I wasn't trying to make that point. I understand it is tight, and the Rays deserve their credit too for being a half game out, but like, my point was about the Blue Jays. It wasn't about the whole division. So Rays fans were like, oh, cropping us out and blah, blah. I was like, I was not trying to intentionally slight you.
Yeah. And my point was just that I think it does matter for the Yankees, is my point, because we're now in a situation where the next time we podcast, we could be talking about a third place Yankees team. Very reasonably.
Oh,
that could happen.
That could happen quickly. I mean, the way that the series went specifically, like the Jays, did they pitch well? I mean, they got just enough out of a couple of their starters, and they got just enough out of the bullpen. I mean, there were some high scoring games in this series.
Yeah.
Offensively, they had a few guys that swung the bat very well. Jimenez
Springer
hit over 500, hit 625. Springer hit 500 in the series with 2 homers. David Schneider hit 500 in the series with 2 homers.
2 bombs yesterday.
And it was the starters who, what'd Scherzer go? I think Scherzer and Grossman both went 5 innings, 2 runs. And then it was Barrios who got touched up 4 1/3, I think 6 earnings tagged. And the bullpen over the series, an ERA of almost 5, like a 4.97. So it was like doing just enough. But I mean, it was about what
Hoffman's
the offense
been
did.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this series, I mean, it was the offense. 6 homers, 9 extra base hits for the Jays in this series. Yeah, it was their offense who propelled it.
Yeah, very exciting shit. It concludes today. So if our discussion about the Yankees and Jays has enticed you at all, you can get the series finale today. I believe it's a 7:00 game. Correct me if I'm wrong. Either way,
Is it? Ugh.
you have anything you want to say about your Pittsburgh Pirates quickly, Dallas?
Oh, buddy, are you fucking kidding me? The Buccos.
Third
The
straight
Buccos-
shutout.
Well, it's the first time since 1976. You got to go all the way back to October of 1976 for the last time that the Pittsburgh Pirates shut out their opponent in a series, 3 games. And who was it? It was the Cardinals.
Oh, wow.
It was the Cardinals, believe it or not. Shout out Mitch Keller. Just fucking dealing. 7 shuts, 7 punches. We talked about that. And I talked about the 8 total swing and misses for Mitch Keller en route to his 7 strikeout performance, as opposed to the 15 swing and misses for Kershaw. And again, we saw a little velo jump for Mitch at the end of his ball game, back up to 95 as he was pacing from 94, 96, 95 throughout the ball game, but ratcheted it up at the end of his outing. Tip of the cap to the rest of the starters that we saw in that series in Heaney and Skeens. Heaney 6 2/3, 7 punch outs. Skeens went 5 gritty innings, 5 punch outs en route to his victory, or the team's victory. And then Mitch, as I just outlined. The offense, though, just 1 homer in the series, 13 runs, 7 walks, 17 punch outs. They hit 253 for the series, just 6 extra base hits for the Buccos, and Horowitz homer and a double, and then it was Frazier, Kutch, Cruz, and Gonzo who all doubled as well, I think. So I mean, look, not a ton of fireworks per se. They outscored them 15-0, 13-0. I think 13-0. But yeah, this for Paul Skeens to get himself back in a spot where the Cardinals are not that fucking cloud looming over you anymore. That's another step in the right direction. That's it. Am I telling you that they're making a push? Am I telling you that they're knocking on any sort of doors here of contention? I'm not telling you that right now. Is it good to see the boys playing a better brand of baseball? Absolutely. Well, Donnie Kelly got the boys playing hard. He's got their socks pulled up high, the jock strapped on tight. He's got the Buccos believing right now. And after a great series like that against the St. Louis Cardinals, why the fuck not? Why not?
How about it?
Raise it! Fuck you, Jayhay.
Jerks and
Sorry, that
Profile
was-
returned and immediately hit like a 700-foot home run. So the fastest
Jerky?
a piss cup has ever been placed in someone's locker in the history of the game. Congrats to him on coming back, though. Can't make the postseason roster.
How about that press release by the Braves? Just an all-time crafted press release.
Buried
You
the
see
lead
that
there.
where,
Yeah.
yeah,
Read it,
Profar.
Read it. I want to hear it.
The Braves today returned outfielder Jurickson Profar from his rehabilitation assignment and reinstated him from the restricted list and designated outfielder Alex Verdugo for assignment. That's first paragraph sentence. Atlanta also returned right-handed pitcher Daisbel Hernandez from his rehabilitation assignment and reinstated him from the injured list and optioned Kevin Herget to AAA Gwinnett. I probably mispronounced both of those names, but I didn't read this ahead of time. The club additionally recalled left-handed pitcher Austin Cox to Atlanta and placed right-handed pitcher Spencer Schwellenbach on the 15-day injured list, backdated to June 29th with a fractured right elbow.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, yeah, we lost our ace.
A lot to unpack there. That sucks. God, that sucks.
Him and Sale out for basically the whole second half of the season, or large parts of it, is huge bummer.
Not good. Not good.
No bueno. What was the other thing? Oh, Alex Verdugo DFA'd. Yeah, this is less than a year after Aaron Boone insisted that he be starting games over other individuals that were maybe more deserving of playing time, getting major playing time in World Series games, and he can't even stick with a team that is below 500 with the Atlanta Braves. Sad turn of events for Verdugo, if we're being honest. Like, I think, what year was it?
Sounds like you're broken up about it.
I have nothing. I'm indifferent on Verdugo. Like, I don't love him. I don't hate him. I don't really feel anything towards him. It's almost just like, at this point, it's kind of sad. His career had so much promise at one point. I know it was the COVID season, but he got MVP votes in 2020. And I think he was a big piece of what they had going on in 2021. And then it's just, I don't know, like, after, I want to say it was the 23 season, he had a 2.7 WAR, and they were talking like this was his final season in Boston, like I think at the All-Star break, because he finished slow. Like, he had a bad second half, he had a hot first half, age 27 season in 23. And all the talk was, if this kid makes the All-Star team, they better sign him to like a 5-year extension, like keep him in Boston. And then he has like this dog shit second half. He's getting benched for not hustling. He's getting benched for showing up late and all this stuff. Just lack of caring. And then the Red Sox say, here's what we think of you. We're going to trade you to the team that we're trying to beat in our own division. That's what we think of you. Go play for the Yankees. You're not a threat to us. And then he goes to the Yankees, hits 233 with a 647 OPS, proves them right, and then walks into free agency, doesn't sign until the season already starts. The Atlanta Braves bring him in for 56 games. He has a negative WAR, hits 239 with a 585 OPS, the lowest mark of his entire career, besides the 15 games that he came up for in 2017 as a 21-year-old. And now it's like, well, where do you go from here? Like, good luck in Pittsburgh, I guess. Like, I'm sure that there's some team that's looking for, like there's going to be a team that is looking for a warm body to stick in the outfield that they don't have to pay much money to, just so they can fill out a lineup card. There'll be a job for him. I'm sure this is not the end of his big league career, but it's definitely, for me, it's the end of any idea that he was going to become this guy that was going to sign like a multi-year big money contract in the big leagues.
He can go play for the White Sox once they finally figure out a place for Lou Bob.
I actually think we're closer. I'm a little bit more pessimistic, I guess. It would not be surprising to me if we're doing this podcast in 2026 and Verdugo's cut from whatever option he gets, and that's the end that we hear of him, because I just don't know, like, what value is he bringing? What is he at this point that a team could look at him? I'm not saying he's never getting a chance, but like in terms of being around 3 or 4 years from now, what is he? He's not a platoon bat. He doesn't even hit really righties. He has no meaningful defensive value. He doesn't have a meaningful amount of pop. He's not running into home runs. You're not catching lightning in a bottle there. He has no speed, no applicable speed, stolen base threat. What is he?
He is DFA'd. That's what he is.
Yeah, now he is. I'm just not really sure that we see, like, if you set the over-under on does Alex Verdugo receive 500 more plate appearances at the Major League Baseball level. I'm sitting on that and I'm thinking about it real hard.
Jayhay says DFA stands for done for all time.
Wow.
He had a 585 OPS this year. He did not hit a single homer. He stole one base. He got 213 plate appearances, was below replacement level. There's just not a lot. There's not a lot of places to go from there.
There's really not. Besides Chicago, the South Side. You can always go there.
I guess, and it's funny, and I like ripping on the White Sox.
Bienvenido a Miami.
I mean, every outfielder that the White Sox currently are starting is someone I would rather have in a starting spot right now than Alex Verdugo. Like, Benintendi's been a joke. Benintendi is like, I think, probably way better at this point.
Jeez.
Like, Benintendi's been literally way better this season and better, and they were basically the same dude last year. Benintendi was a little better.
You are harsh in his vibe.
Yeah, there's just not, even the Marlins. Who's in their outfield?
It's
like, are you playing Alex Verdugo over anyone who gets regular playing time for them? You're not. I don't know if you are. I don't think so. He's not playing center field, so let's put that aside.
Well, no, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. No, I mean,
like, I'm going to be honest. I have the Marlins depth chart pulled up, and they have a man named Liam Hicks as the DH. Hand up. I don't know who that is. Okay. So, but that I don't know who he is, I think is a feather in his cap for would I rather play him over Alex Verdugo, because that's a mystery box. And I know what Alex Verdugo is. I don't know what Liam Hicks is.
You taking Dane Myers over Alex Verdugo?
Yes, and my point being that you can't play Alex Verdugo in center field anyway, so it's a moot point. You can't. I mean, we're always doing that. No. Liam Hicks? No. Fuck, man. Liam Hicks has 171 plate appearances at the major league level and has a 783 OPS and a 116 triple OPS plus. He's way better than Alex Verdugo.
Well, I mean, so is Dane Myers is hitting...
I moved off Dane Myers real fast, dude. That's a non-starter.
I didn't call him Dan.
We're doing 10 minutes on Verdugo. This should be the whole clip. We should just do a 10-minute social clip on Alex Verdugo.
Well, you laugh, Jayhay, but is he not a decent fit for your Cleveland Guardians?
Are you trying to be an asshole? Are you trying to be a jerk? What role is he playing there, may I ask?
Corner outfield.
I mean, that team stinks.
You guys are not afraid to employ non-contributing outfielders.
Excuse me, are you trying to be an asshole?
Excuse me.
No, non-contributing outfielders is a passion of the Guardians. Yeah, that is. He is obviously Stephen Kwan is way better than Alex Verdugo. Lane Thomas is just as bad, but again, you can't fake Alex Verdugo in center field.
Who has the higher upside, Verdugo or Lane Thomas?
Yeah,
I think the answer is Lane Thomas, respectfully. I really do. And I don't want to see Lane Thomas anymore either.
No,
but
look, Stephen Vogt, very comfortable putting guys in the right position defensively. It's just a matter of having him start off in the right spot out there in center field. Verdugo could go run down balls, no?
Liam Thomas. Lane Thomas stole 32 bags last year. Okay. Mm-hmm. The year before, he hit 28 homers and had 20 stolen bases. Alex Verdugo knows nothing about any of these numbers. I'm serious.
I got a team for you.
Who?
The Royals.
Literally the worst offense in baseball right now.
Who? They've got Drew Waters.
This might actually be the answer. This might be the answer.
Yeah. I can't believe that you have already gotten rid of Cags, Jared. That's what you're saying right now.
He's in right.
Cags gone.
We're in right.
What do you mean? Oh, are we talking just center field right now?
No, left. No. Who the fuck is Drew Waters?
Well, he's the left fielder for the fucking Kansas City Royals.
Well, not until Alex Verdugo gets there.
What do you mean? Who the fuck is Drew Waters? Fuck, he's hitting almost 250, is he not?
I got him at 235. Where is Drew Waters? I'm sorry,
No,
Drew. I mean, I don't know you personally, but I am trying to replace you with Alex Verdugo.
Yeah, you are dragging Drew right now for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
This guy. No, dude. Drew's got to go.
That's fine. You're getting rid of Drew.
Yes. I'm getting rid of
I'm just saying, there's other guys who are not performing as well as Drew, Jared.
He has a negative WAR. He can go.
I understand
a
that.
70 OPS plus and a negative 0.4 WAR. Drew, I'm sorry, but you got to go in favor of Alex Verdugo. Doogie's coming to Kansas City.
Mark Canha. I love Mark Canha as a human being. Fully appreciate the big league foodie. He is not as good as Drew Waters is right now. The fact that you uttered that Jack Caglione needs to be removed immediately from the roster took me by surprise.
What?
But now that I've started
He's
to look
right
at the
field.
numbers,
We're talking left, brother. Do you know you're right
talking
from
about
left?
outfield. You just said outfielders. We were talking about center field too, plugging this fucker in somewhere.
No,
we're trying to find a place for
that.
Verdugo to play baseball.
He's playing left field for the fucking Royals, Dallas. Come Monday morning. Welcome to Kansas City, Alex Verdugo.
It'll be all right.
I can't wait. All right, jersey bet. When Alex Verdugo signs with the Kansas City Royals, you have to send me a Doogie Royals jersey.
Done. I will get on a fucking airplane and fly to Kansas City and get that fucking thing signed by Alex Verdugo.
All right.
And bring it to you.
All right.
With Alex Verdugo.
I'm going to hang it up right here.
Field,
right behind me.
Left field for the Kansas City Royals.
He is.
No, he's not.
Okay. You say that now. Just wait. Jake, book Alex Verdugo's agent. Who is his agent?
I'm gonna fucking lose my mind if Alex
if he signs with the Royals. Oh my god, I can't fucking wait.
Fucking universe.
It's a perfect fit. He MVP Sports Group.
Oh yeah, my old agent.
I'm seeing someone on Twitter just said sources. Alex Verdugo may sign with the Royals.
If he signs with the Royals, let's see. Let's see if there's any buzz. Alex Verdugo, Royals.
Fucking Jayhay just tweeted out.
Yeah. I'm seeing this on Twitter right now. Sources, Alex Verdugo, quote, may sign with the Royals. Royals Pains 2025 on Twitter tweeted 12 hours ago at the Royals Twitter handle. I hate to say this, but we need Alex Verdugo. On July 2nd, Don't Fire Spags tweeted, Alex Verdugo would be an upgrade for the Royals outfield.
Just saying, we're not putting it out there.
On April 21st, Marcus tweeted, you know, the Royals could have had Alex Verdugo for essentially free.
Guess what? Still can.
Yeah, I was going to say, now they can just pay a small nominal prorated fee and they'll have him for as long as they want him.
Yep. On March 11th, the Kings of Kaufman tweeted, Alex Verdugo remains a free agent for the Royals offering a much needed upgrade in left field. I don't know, man. I feel like the internet there's a wildfire burning out there for Doogie to KC. And
so sounds like the waters are getting choppy for Drew, huh, Jared?
Yeah.
Unbelievable that you woke up and chose Drew Waters to fucking crucify.
Yeah, I mean,
I have no idea what Drew Waters has done to you.
I'm sure he's a just good guy, play baseball, but
feed his family.
Yeah, he just, I don't know. Is he bringing more to the table than what Doogie could for the Royals? I mean, I'm just saying. The Royals are desperate right now. There's an upgrade out there, and it's Alex Verdugo. So
We'll see about it.
Jayhay, did you have anything on Mizorowski?
No, he wasn't good.
Mizorowski.
Nope, we can move on.
You don't want to talk about that.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Oh, welcome back to Baseball is Dead Family Feud. I'm your man, Justin Havens. I don't really remember what happened with the guys last time. They probably lost.
We won.
So looking for a bounce back here.
We kicked their ass.
Yeah.
Geez, that seems unlikely, but all right. I've never known you to lie, so I guess you guys won. Cool. So I believe it is Dallas first, Jared closing it out today.
That's correct.
All right.
Pop them bitches off.
Yes, please do. How you feeling, Dallas?
Feel all right about it. It's a day off. I feel clear-headed.
It's good.
Yeah. Yes.
Good.
Feel great about it.
And if if you get them wrong, if you really crash and burn, at least you can, use the day off to, kind of clear your mind and get yourself right. So
I will do that.
All right. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready.
Okay. Question number 1. After Clayton Kershaw, which you and I obviously witnessed last night, how many more currently active pitchers will reach 3,000 career strikeouts?
0.
Question 2. Name the number of hitters. This is phrased weird, but I'm looking for a number. Name the number of hitters who will reach 60 or more homers by the end of this season in baseball.
2. Oh!
Question 3. Between Ryan O'Hearn, Pete Crow Armstrong, Jacob Wilson, Javier Baez, and Gleyber Torres, who is the most surprising starter this season?
Javier Baez.
Question 4. Name the MLB team whose odds to make the postseason have improved/increased the most since the start of the 2025 season until right now. Question was written last night.
Toronto Blue Jays.
Final question. Question 5. Name the MLB team whose odds to make the postseason have declined or decreased the most since the start of the 25 season until right now.
Red Sox.
Thank you.
Feel good about it. Feel good about it.
Yeah, you feel pretty good about this?
Feel good about it.
Jared can pop those on.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go?
How did we do / how are we doing?
You're doing fine.
Okay.
You're doing fine. You're in good space. You're in a good place. You can kind of just bring us home.
Did he get to 100?
He did.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Let me get adjusted here.
Come shooter. Come shooter.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Question 1. After Clayton Kershaw, how many more currently active pitchers will reach 3,000 career strikeouts?
2.
Question 2. Name the number of hitters who will reach 60 or more homers by the end of this season in Major League Baseball. Looking for a number.
0.
Between Ryan O'Hearn, Pete Crow Armstrong, Jacob Wilson, Javier Baez, and Gleyber Torres, who is the most surprising all-star starter this season?
Javi Baez. Jacob Wilson.
What the fuck?
He's a rookie.
Name the MLB team whose odds to make the postseason have improved or increased the most since the start of the 25 season until right now.
Astros.
Last question. Name the MLB team whose odds to make the postseason have declined or decreased the most since the start of the 25 season until right now.
Twins.
All right, let's do this. Question 1. Kershaw, how many more will do it? Dallas said 0. That was 16 points. So we're off to a decent start here. That was the third most common answer. Jared, he came through with 2, a little bit more optimistic. 31 points. That's the number one answer, actually.
Cole and Sale.
So we're at 47 between the two. Good first start. We're well on our way here. Name the number of hitters who will reach 60 or more homers by the end of this season in Major League Baseball. Dallas said 2. That was the second most common answer. That's another 34 points. So you guys are up to 81. Jared said 0. You guys flipped pessimism on this one. That's the third most common answer, 16 points. So we're up to 97 points through 2 questions, almost halfway there. 1 was the most common answer. That would have gotten you 40 points. We'll see whether that comes back to haunt you guys. Doesn't look like it so far, but you never know. Between Ryan O'Hearn, Pete Crow Armstrong, Jay Willie, Javier Baez, and Torres, who is the most surprising All-Star? You guys both went for Javi. Might have made this question too easy. Javi got 76 points. Wow, folks. 76 changes the math on this matchup. That's up to 167 points with plenty of meat left on this bone. Jared said Jay Willie. That was 6 points.
Fucking disgrace.
Third most common answer. You're at 173 as a group with 2 questions left. You need only 20.
I viewed it as like points at the start of the year, not like.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's how I meant the question.
Yeah.
Question 4. Name the MLB team. Again, you need 27 points. Name the MLB team whose odds to make the postseason have improved or increased the most since the start of the 25 season. Dallas said the very popular recently Toronto Blue Jays. Hit the music, folks. We've wrapped this one up early. Oh my goodness gracious. Too easy. You guys are going to pay for this in a big way next week. I hate to tell you. Yeah, going to come back for a vengeance. That was 43 points, overwhelmingly the number one answer. So that gets you, I believe, 216 points we're up to now. Jared said the Astros. That was 1 point. So that gets you 217 points.
That's crazy.
The second most common answer was the Tigers, then the Rays. And the decreased question, Dallas once again came through with the number one overall answer, the Red Sox. That's 255 points. Jared said the Twins, who did not make the list, unfortunately.
I mean, these are just wrong.
Thanks for showing up, Jared. Appreciate your fucking help today, pal.
You're welcome. Blame the fucking voters. Like the Astros. I bet if you were to look,
Jayhay, tell me next time we're doing Family Feud by myself. Let me know that next time so we can get Jared out of here.
This is like the first time you've had more points than me since like Christmas.
Maybe got a haircut or something. Who fucking knows?
I would like to see the actual statistics on that. Like who actually increased the most? It's probably the Astros. Who decreased the most? It's probably the Twins.
Wow, you're feeling pretty good about that, huh?
I mean, as far as decrease goes, how many people had them winning the division? Now they're one of the worst teams in baseball.
The Astros, I feel like far less people had. Oh,
like the Twins does not deserve to be. What did you say? There's no points. 1 point.
0. Absolutely nobody thought what you thought.
Well, they're wrong.
So let's see here. 40.3, and now today. Oh, all right. So, for example, the Blue Jays odds to make the postseason have increased by just under 34% since the start of the season. They were given a 43% chance to make the postseason at the beginning of the year. They are currently at 77%. The Astros started the year with a 52.3% chance to make the postseason, so about 9% higher than the Blue Jays. They have increased 44% to 96.8 for the Astros is where they sit right now.
So I'm right. That's what you're saying.
Well, I'm saying you're certainly looking good. The Tigers also right there. I believe the Tigers are actually number one now that I'm looking at it. They've gone from in the 40s to all the way up to 99. So
now do the decrease math for fucking Twins and Red Sox so I can be right about that one too.
All right, let's see.
Well, you're just
hold on.
I'm saying the voters are stupid. You should be on my side on this, Dallas. You should be mad on my behalf. Instead of being mad at me for the vote totals not adding up, you should be like, oh, my partner is smart. He gave the correct answers, but you people didn't back him up. You should be mad at the fucking discourse.
We've been through this thousands of times. The fucking discourse degenerates can't figure it out.
All right, let's go. Let's go to the tails of the tape.
This one is very close. This one, the Red Sox are the biggest dropper, but it is very, very close. They've gone from 55% to 17%. The Twins have gone from 55%, so the exact same odds, to 21%.
So the idea that the Red Sox would have such a large voting total and the Twins not doesn't add up is the crux of this.
I think you guys need to focus on the fact that you won and take that into the weekend. And this is like the exact same version of the conversation we just had about fandom and the media trying to tear it down.
We did win.
You guys win,
but let the record show I did not fall flat on my face in this one. The discourse did. The discourse did. Yeah.
Yeah. See, we're not going to look at the offers. Don't look at that. Don't judge him on the no point answers. Judge us on the totality of our knowledge.
It's basically like me and Dallas had like a couple at bats and we had all the same launch angles and exit velocities, but his were home runs and mine weren't. And it's like, well, that doesn't make sense. That's basically what happened here today. But I digress. It's fine. We won. We won the game though. But we won the game, so it's fine.
Have you ever met a more selfish teammate?
No, we won the game.
So pissed off.
But we won the game.
We won. We won, but I wasn't acknowledged as being corrected.
But we won the game though, so it's fine.
I have to have that.
Yeah, but we won the game. It's fine.
That's how a good teammate looks at it, Jared.
No, I'm just happy that we won the game. That's what I'm saying. No one's listening to that part. If that was true,
I would appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm just fucking pumped that we won the game today. That's all.
I want to believe that.
Yeah. Like I'm definitely not going to go back and look at the tape of me hitting the shit out of the ball and still going 0 for 5, I'm not going to look at it. We're just going to be happy that we won the game. So I can definitely take that into arbitration, but we won the game.
Take that into the weekend because you sure shit ain't winning next week.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Good.
Geek. I think we're gonna have. I think we're gonna have momentum on our side as well. This was 3 straight wins. Yeah. Jayhay, do you have any nugs today to send the folks into the weekend?
I do. Let's get to them.
Yeah.
Then we'll get to that weekend. Congratulations to Jose Altuve last night, who moved into second place on the Astros all-time hits list. Hits, still kind of cool. He passed Jeff Bagwell. He is behind Craig Biggio now. He still has a ways to go to pass Biggio. He needs about 700 more hits. Not totally out of the question. We'll see whether the Altuve can make a run at 3,000 hits, fresh off of Kershaw doing 3,000 strikeouts. Everything else I'm going to do is about Clayton Kershaw. So a few things there. If you were on the stream last night, you heard this, but he is the third pitcher to reach 3,000 strikeouts for one franchise exclusively, along with Walter Johnson and the Senators and Bob Gibson and the Cardinals. So if you remember when Bob Gibson did it, it was in 1974. So it's literally more than a half century since somebody accomplished this feat while wearing one uniform in their careers. So if you're into that stuff, kind of cool. He's also the fourth left-handed pitcher to do so, along with Carlton, Unit, and CC Sabathia. Very, very exclusive list there. Only 4 of the 20 are left-handed, which is kind of cool. The lefty. Per Sarah Langs, I thought this was cool. The most remarkable stat that she was able to find per her was that he had 608 of his strikeouts were of the 3-pitch variety, which in the wild card era is behind only Max Scherzer and Randy Johnson for 3-pitch strikeouts. I don't necessarily know, like I'm not taking anything significant away from that, but now that I know that Scherzer, Randy Johnson, and Clayton Kershaw have the most 3-pitch strikeouts in the wild card era, I probably won't forget it. And then per the Elias Sports Bureau, this was a funny way to view the situation as well. I thought they looked up Dodgers teammates who quote unquote witnessed the most of Clayton Kershaw's career strikeouts by games that they participated in. Maybe they went to the bathroom for some of them. That's obviously impossible to check. But does anybody have a guess before I reveal them as to who witnessed, quote unquote, the most Clayton Kershaw strikeouts in his career on the path to 3,000?
AJ Ellis.
No. And this is not in the game, by the way. This could be like they were teammates, appeared in games in which Kershaw combined. So they have to be in the game. Yep, in some capacity. Not AJ Ellis, though. He's not top 4.
Really? Not Justin Turner.
Justin Turner is 3rd.
Not Andre Ethier.
Andre Ethier is the answer, folks.
Let's go, Andre!
1,533 of the strikeouts. Ethier, Matt Kemp, Turner, and Adrian Gonzalez are the top 4. So I thought that was cool. Congrats to Clayton Kershaw. And yep, those are the Nugs.
Thank you, Justin Havens. Dallas, final thought today?
Yeah, I got a couple of them. I would like to extend my congratulations to my starting shortstop for the American League, Jacob Wilson.
Didn't we already do this?
The first ever fan-elected rookie shortstop to start the All-Star game. And it is the first shortstop to earn a starting nod for the Athletics since my man Campy, Bert Campaneris, that's back in 74. And this is the first A's position player to be starting the All-Star game since one Josh Donaldson, the bringer of rain, in 2014. So congratulations to Jay Willie. We were on the airplane last night, and they let him know what's going down, and he's just like, oh, yeah, cool. Like there wasn't like a ton of like, oh my God. He just just a very calm, cool, collected dude. Very humble as well. So I couldn't be happier for Jay Willie and the season that he's having, and for it to be acknowledged and culminate in a all-star starting nod. Anytime you're on lists and in conversations up until this point of the season with a guy like Aaron Judge, it bears acknowledging. And it has surfaced in the form of an all-star starting nod. And I would also like to take this time to congratulate one Nick Kurtz on his AL Rookie of the Month nod. That's right. The Big Bopper.
Anyways.
Green and gold. Rocking it.
Jayhay, do you have any final thoughts?
I just want to take this time to shout out Jay Willie.
That's right.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
No, I'm gonna use this. I don't talk about the Guards all that much, mostly this season, because it's a just brutal baseball team to watch. But shout out to Jose Ramirez, who continues to be one of the bright lights in an otherwise, as I said, pretty dark season. 7th All-Star selection, fourth as a starter. Very cool. And I think just another small check mark, small data point on his way to what's going to end up being an unquestioned Hall of Fame career. And I think he's going to be remembered as one of the great on an island players in recent baseball history who, was just asked to do an enormous amount for the team that he played for and has really never flinched in that regard. And I still, maybe people are tired of this. Maybe people do appreciate him, but I just don't feel like we still fully grasp how fucking awesome Jose Ramirez is and where he ranks in the pantheon of the best players or the best infielders or best AL infielders or however we want to describe it, best Cleveland players that we've ever seen. And he continues to do it, and everybody's always anticipating that it'll be the year of a downturn or he can't possibly sustain this within this lineup that perpetually sucks ass around him. And he always does. And yeah, I just tip of the cap to him because I'm just so impressed year after year.
Tip your cap. All right. Thanks everyone for listening this week. We appreciate it. Subscribe to the YouTube page. We also appreciate that as well. Enjoy your weekend of baseball. And we'll be right back here on Monday with more Baseball is Dead. We'll see you then.
Wow.